All right, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you had a great weekend. Um, I'm feeling a little crappy today, but I'm going to try to power through here. I might not be talking quite as much because, like I said, I don't feel super great, and my roommate's trying to sleep too, so I don't want to wake him up. But I'm excited to be here. I am on a roll with making these OC reference arts for my Webtoon Born and Raised. So we are going to be moving on to another character called JoJo, who is August's love interest and an absolute badass. Like, she stands on her own as like a super badass. So this is the sketch that I came up with last night. I did it, pretty quickly. She is a sniper. She's actually one of the few people in Oasis that actually comes from a military background. Her and her brother were in the British military. So she's pretty awesome. She's pretty eccentric. She likes to collect silly hats. I have not drawn her hats yet, but I wanted to make sure I drew her like at least how she looks without her hats. So came up with this design last night. I think it looks okay. The silhouette is a little weak, but that's all right. We can do some updated ones later with like different poses and whatnot. And I think that'll help her silhouette a lot. I just wanted to have her have one that included her giant like sniper rifle that she has. So, but yeah. Oh, let me show you guys the one that I finished, and I used that picture that was just on the screen for the structure of her face. Um, Let me bring up Val's completed character sheet. I did not end up doing his weapon on here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do completely different sheets so we get different views of their weapons here. And I had him casting a spell on the side here for his portrait here. And I thought it turned out pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with how these are turning out. They're going to be super helpful for when I start working on the webtoon again. So anyway, back to JoJo here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to lower the opacity on this sketch here. I'm going to turn this off so I can still see. And I'm going to do some line work over top of this to kind of like clean it up and, maybe define more of the details and all that kind of stuff. But we're shooting for not too many details because I need to be able to draw her pretty consistently. So let's start with her face. I'm going to try to round off some of these edges just a little bit here. She's also very pretty, so August made an excellent choice.
It's very pretty too. I think that's why she didn't shoot him in the face.
What'd you say?
He's very pretty too. That's why she didn't initially shoot him in the face.
Oh yeah, August is also pretty, so that helps. But JoJo is definitely not ever a damsel in distress type
Never.
whatsoever.
Not ever. You're the damsel.
Yeah. She's definitely Definitely seen combat, knows it very, very well. And even though she's a sniper, that does not mean that she is helpless up close. I was considering also maybe giving her like some support drones that kind of like watch her back while she's trying to snipe. She probably has various traps like mines and whatnot laid around the area that she has set up her position. She also has like more close range armaments that she can access with her pocket device as well. So she's got plenty of options when it comes to dealing with whatever situation comes by. Trying to have another thing for her shirt collar here that she has underneath. She's just an extremely cool character, and she's very, very British coded, very quirky, very eccentric. Especially with the silly hats collection. So I'll have to have Havoc write up some character bios for all these so I can have them attached to the artwork here too, so you guys get an idea about the characters, because I don't really do them justice like describing them like these are her babies. So yeah, I thought this color combination worked really well. Try to do my best with like the newfound like character design skills that I've gotten from watching tons of YouTube. I want them all to have like distinct like color palettes that make them like stand out. Also, while highlighting like you know the like I said, the level of civilization is important when doing character design, and the role that the character plays also has to fit like what they do. So she's a sniper, so she can't have anything that really like obstructs her view. She needs to be able to move pretty quickly here. I figured this part of her outfit here is coated so it has like a shielding against the type of rounds that she's firing. That way she doesn't get like affected by the power of the rounds. Like you don't want any sort of like you know get messed up from the gun you're using because it's so powerful. Oh yeah, yeah. I have two other characters. We have two other characters. Cassie, well actually three. Cassie, Caius, and Karis. Uh, they're all siblings, and they have a lot of orange and black on their outfits. And I will be doing their character sheets probably up next. I have them mostly designed. Like I feel like their outfits are pretty solid already, but I'll just be like doing some refining just to be sure, just to make sure that everything all looks like it exists in the same universe, and then I'll have some sheets where we have lineups of the characters all next to each other, so you can see their different like heights, and just to see how they all look and make sure that they all look like they exist in the same universe, that they have a consistent style. I don't want to have like a random character that looks like they belong in like a fantasy webtoon versus like a more sci-fi kind of thing that we got going on here. Unless their character calls for that. Like if a character's from like say one of like the survivor towns or villages, and maybe their culture is like that, they might have like slightly different outfits that reflect that, but they still need to look like they belong in the universe. Fuji started to play as I started working on JoJo. That's awesome. I love Fuji's. Definitely a 90s vibe. Decided to give her a few scars here and there because, like, as a sniper, generally, when someone does get close enough to do any sort of attack on them, it's generally going to be a knife fight, a knife or a pistol fight. So I figured she would have a couple, like, nicks here and there from, like, some knife fights because you can't get out of a knife fight like completely like unscathed. So that doesn't mean she's bad at it. It just means that whoever was able to actually sneak up on her was skilled enough. Oh yeah, 100%. I was thinking about giving her a little satchel for the interesting thing she carries around. I don't know if you want me to talk about that now or not. Okay. I'll leave that alone. Nympha! How goes it? So glad you're here. JoJo's also one of those characters that she has the straight across eyes a lot, even though she's so quirky. So like the delivery is gonna be like pretty pretty comedic because British humor is very like quirky and dry. Why is it filling in like that? That's weird. Oh, it's because I have. Uh, where's the line layer from my sketch? There we go. That's what it is. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Like, I'm just happy that I'm excited about the webtoon again. I think I stopped before because my skills hadn't really gotten to a point where I felt where I wasn't like, I still had like a lot of imposter syndrome. But now I feel like I can tackle like anything I need to do for the webtoon, so I'm pretty confident. I just had to get there. Like I'm really proud of where my skills have gotten, so all that doubt I used to have is gone now. Oh my god, if I could draw lines. That's too Trying to make sure it's not too straight here so we can have the volume of the lips. Oops, that's too far over. Still too far over. Right there. It's a little too thick. There we go. It's a little bit better. Yeah, if you guys don't know Havoc's reference, it is from Black Lagoon, aka Badass Lagoon, and if you have not watched that anime, do yourself a favor. It's amazing. Make sure that's not too thick. There we go. Looking good so far. Make sure I save often here. Yeah. I don't mind Rock. Rock is alright. He's definitely not the best character in the series, but I do give him some respect. Definitely the best decision he could have made, so. He is the damsel of distress, that's for sure. She's right, you know. Even though he's always in trouble, he's still pretty, like, tough for, like, a little Japanese dude. Oops, too thick. bring that up a little bit higher in the back. Again, don't be afraid to draw through your lines. It makes things so much easier. Sure, you have to do some erasing, but you know what? It's worth it to have lines that actually connect on the other side without them being like disjointed. Yeah, pretty much. Be Revy's pet. Do I want that to... Maybe I will have it come out a little bit like I had it. It's a better shape. There we go. I think I'm going to bring this orange up a little bit so we can highlight her face more. Bring it out and then that way we'll extend it a little bit. Try to make that less of a tangent there. Go ahead and redo that line. That's not a big deal. Should have probably done this in a little bit higher resolution, but that's okay. It's good enough for print. Alright, so we gotta start figuring out here how the structure of this is gonna be. So, let's see. I do have this coming out from her shirt she's got underneath here. I like to put these like big triangular collar shapes because they help point to the point of interest of the character, which is generally the face. Again, with this collar too, you know, both these collars point at the face. Also, any characters that have, like, you know, some sort of combat skill or anything that makes them deadly or dangerous, using sharper edges on their outfits denotes that. So what I think we're gonna do here, we gotta decide how this is gonna connect here. Let's bring this, oops, that's not what I want. I want this little shoulder area to overlap. Come up higher. There we go. In a little bit, just to show there's a little bit of like a lip right here. Let's see. Let's have a little lip right here too. All right, I think I'll have. I'm gonna put a strap going this way, and it'll be like underneath the shirt, maybe. Trying to see how I want this to connect. It's got to connect to something. It can't just be like floating there. I mean, it could technically be part of this piece here too, but I feel like it wouldn't make much sense to have a place to put it on all together like that. So, well, I could have it come from underneath here and then come up over the shoulder. It should still be underneath though for this shirt, I think. So we're gonna do this, and it'll just connect underneath. So this can like detach too, would also be probably useful too. Especially if she needs to take it off for like hand-to-hand like combat or something like that. That way, you know, nobody or no thing can grab it and have like a hold of her. So you gotta think about like the practicality of it a little bit too. I'm just gonna put a little clip here. And I like the shape that I came up with for these, so I'm going to repeat these shapes for the clips. You know, when you find like shapes that you really like for like a character, make sure that you repeat them in different places. Let's put some trim on it. It's got a little lip. Again, not going too crazy with detail because I have to draw her a lot. Oh, I gotta take my robe off. I'm getting warm. All right. Let's do this. Like that. Let's put a little, give it a little shape so it's not 100% flat. We're going to break it up just a little bit. Gonna have this lip kind of come up, stand out just a bit. And then it goes back into it. Do that here too, so it's consistent. That's like a thicker material. Like that. I'll have this. Put some shadow here. I think it's looking pretty good so far. Now we need this. This come this way. Start defining the seams. I said this is also a thicker material to, like, you know, kind of handle the maybe it's like I said, like treated so she has some protection against her rounds. Don't want to get injured from your own weaponry, so that would be silly. Especially since I designed her sniper rifle that it has like a kind of like a energy exhaust that it puts off after it fires. Well, if it's one of the high powered rounds, at least. Depends on what she's trying to take down. There are more advanced zombies and creatures later that take a lot to take them down, so. Just a little bit of a fold there. And then I had some clips going on here to connect it across the body. Again, you kind of want to, you definitely want to think about like the functionality of things. Like, don't just have things like floating on your character if there's nowhere for them to connect. It just I used to be famous for doing that all the time. Be like, oh, this looks cool, but I have no idea how it stays on here. Trying my best to make things like make sense now. It doesn't have to be 100% realistic, but it's just gotta it's got a vibe at a glance. Yeah, exactly. Being in the comments like it's like that because I said so, not because it makes sense. I don't want to sit around and argue with people, so I'm gonna be blocking people that give me crap anyway. So block button is your best friend. It's looking so good, looking like it got its hair done and everything. Got a makeover. Block button is Bay. I'd actually come up with a character because I was gonna do just like solely a YouTube channel that was the personification of the block button, and she was like a delinquent with a giant bat, and she was also like into judo, so she could like toss people too, like out of my comments. I should bring her back. I do like that design too. This one's just kind of another like reinforcing strap that goes around the back here. Like up under the armpit. Just trying to get the lines right. Because we're gonna have it go around the back on the back view. Connect. And I've got this green patch here that I use to break up the color a little bit, so I'm going to make that part of the design of the jacket here. So what I'll probably do is I'll have it come like this. And then this part of the jacket here, I'll make that whole part green with the teal. Give it a little bit of a volume to it, so it's like a thicker material there. And we can erase away this. That. And then we can have the seam kind of continue. There we go, I think that's looking good. You can go ahead and save and get watered because I just saw that you did that. Doing my best to lock in even though I have a headache, so Debating whether I should put some like other round clips that I have on the brothers. Just gotta figure out where I would put them. I don't know if I need them. Because they all have like they all get their gear from like the same people, so in where they live. I mean, I'm sure they'll find like some stuff like out in the wasteland that they can bring back and have adapted to their needs, but for the most part, it's all going to have like this the similar look to it. So that's the characters I was talking about doing next is the Lindis kids. So well, I say kids. I mean Cassie's young, but the other two are not quite as young. The art I used to do of Cassie used to get a lot of attention, so she's very adorable. Yeah, designing her actual rifle is going to be the challenging part. I'll admit that that is one of my weaknesses is doing like guns and stuff because I used to draw like mostly like fantasy style characters, so they usually had like swords or axes or pole arms or things like that. I probably have to watch some YouTube videos about like weapon design. I think that's probably my best bet because that's how I learn anything that if I'm weak in a certain area, I just watch YouTube videos like from a professional, so or at least somebody that like breaks it down in a way that makes sense to me. Just the kitties.
Huh? No, it wasn't the door. It doesn't matter.
Huh?
It just wasn't the door. So
Oh.
I'm just making sure someone was trying to test.
Yeah. All right. So let's do the shirt now. Make sure I get this. So this should probably connect more like that. And JoJo's very muscular because she was in the military. Well, like lean, not like super like muscle mommy, but definitely not petite. trying to indicate there's a little bit of a curve there without going too far. I'm going to bring her shoulder out more. Like I said, she's...
Stop being bad, Vegeta.
Sorry, my kitty's been driving us nuts all day. It's like obsessed with play. Which, you know, I get it. Kitties get bored real easy, but... Man. He's just been kind of annoying about it today. That looked kind of weird. To do like, maybe I need to bring this in a little bit here. I don't want the bicep to be too long. There we go, that looks better. Now we're going to make it a little bit thicker on that side. And have a scar on that arm. Seam here on the shirt. Alright, maybe here I'll put some of those little buttons that I have on the brothers. Because that would make sense in these areas. Oops. I figured I'd give her a little bit of a guard on this forearm to ward off, you know, getting bitten or getting shot at.
Tease the other kitties. It's only in jail.
Could also, you know, protect from knife blows as well. Why are you such a pain in the ass, man? It's been so bad today. What happened in my music? Why? Or why? Yes. Perfect. Something to give me some energy back here. Hell yeah. Alright, we're gonna have this go across here, under the shirt a little bit. But that'll help connect the parts of the pants that she has here. The over. Yee! I love Jeezy. Yes. Join me, Nympha. Join me in the hype. South side. Alright, let's see. Have to define what these are. These are kind of like big like storage pockets here. Let's see, let's use our clip shape here that we came up with, maybe. Make it easier to have these connected. Trying my best not to make these too detailed. And these are just connected to the outside pants thing that I have going on here. I found it on a thing on Pinterest and I was like, oh, that looks cool. That's an interesting shape. I was like, I could probably work that in. I didn't really like this album too much. I don't know why I put that on my playlist. I do like this song. It makes me happy. It's very silly. Trying to give that a little thickness there on the lip. Oh, are they freaking out because of the vacuum? I thought I heard a vacuum cleaner. Are they freaking out because of that?
Yeah, it's a vacuum cleaner.
Where did you go? Let's give them some depth here so they look like they can hold something. Let's go ahead and put a shadow here in between. Well, I haven't really been doing that in other places, so I'll just do that with the coloring. That's fine. Now, I'm probably going to have to bring up my 3D model here in a minute so I can remember exactly how this pose is. sure I save. And let's bring the opacity down some more. 3D reference, there we go. That will help. Because I know one leg is crossed over the other. And I wanted to make sure there was a thickness to the cloth here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a layer underneath so I can kind of like see how it would like wrap around, like behave kind of like that. And then we have the tension point from the knees. Like that. And it hangs a bit, comes down. I'm going to bring these out more just so we can have more of some better shape language on it. Again, this kind of hangs a little bit here. Bring this out. Have it so it kind of wraps around that. And we're going to have the pants stop here. So now it's going to wrap around the leg here. And there. And kind of erase that away a little bit because we don't need too much detail. And we can do the same with the other side here. And I can get the shoes too actually in a minute while I'm at it. So we're going to have our just a rough approximation of where these are for when I draw them in. Like that. That in. This leg is behind. So we're going to kind of have it wrap like that. And then there'd be where the kneecap is. And it goes down. And it's going to wrap around the leg down here. Probably more at an angle though. Like that. Trying to maintain some like nice shapes here, so comes out like that. And I think I got the lines for the pants pretty well here, so not to be too concerned about that. Like the pants that are underneath, these just go over top of the pants. They're like a wrap that goes over them. And let me do the shoes while I'm at it too. So the shoes are gonna overlap. Like that. And the shoes had like, I don't know. I kind of don't want to draw laces a lot, so I found shoes that have like straps. Just to be honest there. I just do not want to have to worry about that. Plus the little strap endings like come off of them, gives them like a real, gives them a nice like shape breakup. And these were kind of like tall, and they had a little. Where are they? Like that, and then for the back ones, I need to have different color here. There we go. That'll help me out. Now I can turn this back up. Let's turn it back up to like 65. Now I can turn off my 3D reference. I really wish my headache would go away. That'd be super dope. Alright, let's get... I'm going to do our clip on this side while I'm thinking about it. So I just don't forget and then go, oh shit, how does this attach? I don't know why it gets so warm when I do artwork. Like so toasty, it's crazy. Alright, so we got that, and then that's gonna connect this bag here. Probably get the flap on the top first. Flip it this way so I can tell what's going on. It's a little too thick. This has got to be turned a little bit. Turned out because of the leg. So we'll do that, and then we'll have our looks like I got it a little bit bigger on the other side, so be consistent here. Down more. There we go. I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out, though. I think she looks really cool. I'm not based or anything as far as that goes, but... ones in here. Whew, man, I feel like shit. No, I'm not allowed to get sick. Let's have this actually butt up against this here. And then we'll give it a little dip. And that one's turned out a little bit, so you won't be able to see both of the pockets. Oops. That was supposed to be an eraser. Might actually bring that out just a little bit, just for the shape. Make sure that we maintain it. A little bit more this way, and then we'll bring it in, out. There we go. It's a little bit better. So it still has that kind of diamond shape as it goes down. Now I can start doing the pants here. Forgot around the knees it does usually bunch up a little bit more, so I should probably do that. That'll make it look a little bit more feasible. Clothing, like especially like the pants, is like always something that I still need to work on. But I know like a lot of like folds, like especially like thicker materials, tend to like coil around, like over, kind of like overlapping. So of course we're not going to be looking at the legs as much, so that's why the pants are just, you know, pretty, don't have as much like detail or as much color. It definitely bunches up a bunch around the, down where it goes into the boot. Trying to still have a good shape here. Let's just make it basic. Trying to figure out how this wraps. Well, I see. I could have it come back out like this. What do? Fix this line. Maybe not have it actually like connect, but zoom in a little bit here. That'll help me. Let's, that. That's probably good. I don't want to put too much detail on it. And then we should probably have some of the inside seam. Have it just kind of follow the shape. There we go. So what I'm thinking is I will finish up the lines for this, and then tomorrow we'll probably have to pick it back up since I'm not feeling so great and I'm starting to get really hungry too. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today, but gotta take care of myself. Plus, on Wednesday, I gotta finish up a commission, so kind of preserve my shoulder for that. I am super happy with this though. Looks really good. Ooh, I could repeat those clips down here too. Man, I'm so sad the artist for high school, the dad passed away. Etchy aside, they were talented artists. It's always sad when an artist passes away. Oh my god, I forgot to tell you, Havoc. Rob Reiner's son is in custody for murdering Rob Reiner and his wife.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I was like, holy shit.
I would love to hear the why.
Yeah, they were found in their home with like stab wounds, and the police picked him up.
Number your son?
Apparently, his son had like really bad trouble with like drug addiction.
Yeah, but from that weird group of filmmakers, kiddies need to stop. That's horrible.
Yeah.
I guess while I'm not, I'll be looking at toddler locks after all. Puzzle lock.
Yeah.
So damn smart.
Give him the put the what is it, the box, the Hellraiser box on the door. So he can't get out. Yeah, the mangaka definitely need to like make sure they're taking like plenty of breaks. It's like really important too. Like if you have like I love One Piece, but I almost kind of wish that Oda had broken it up into like maybe multiple stories. That way he could take more breaks and have it like not like affect his overall story. Because I don't want Oda to die before he finishes One Piece. I will be so sad. I love One Piece so much. It's so good. I'm glad the animation studio started taking it seriously, and like the art has been like insane. Especially all the things with Luffy's grandfather Garp. Holy shit. Garp is such a beast. Garp is that dude. also really bad at drawing shoes, but that's okay. These are all things we can work on. Anywhere we're weak, we can always look up tutorials and figure it out. I remember when I was younger, I used to never draw feet pretty much on my characters. They would always be like waist up shots or something like that. You know, the shortcuts artists take when they don't know what the hell they're doing. We're all guilty of that, even the pros. Hell, the creator of Deadpool still doesn't draw feet, so. I still have respect for him, though. I don't care. He created cool characters, so. Going back and looking at like a lot of like published comic art, I'm just like, holy shit! Like some of this was so bad. Some of the new stuff is even worse because it's like there's like no detail to it. There's like a lot of them now. I'm like, why the fuck does this character look like that? Like, what happened to them? But you know, they're getting paid to do that, so you know, I can't talk but so much shit. Jim Lee's still crushing it though. Just absolute goat as far as like comic art. Alright, that's one shoe. And you can't see a lot of the back one, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. Not a damn thing wrong with that. Actually, I just realized the strap would be... No, I could still go this way. Ooh, good call. Let me save. Get some water. And I'm standing up, so I'll stretch. Hoo-ah! This one we're going to have kind of sticking out just a little bit here because it's turned. Nice. I'm just going to do the other leg here and the little bit of the hand And then I'm gonna have to figure out this gun here, I think, off stream. Or maybe I'll work on it like tomorrow on stream. You know what? I might as well do that because I can try to like walk through like my thought process and maybe get some help from you guys. I think that'd be a cool stream. Get input from all my lovely artists. Yeah. Let's see. Should probably do down here first. Make sure that we have preserved that diamond shape that I was going for there. Around. No. And then we got the knees down here, so it's got to be bunched up more. good. I don't think you'd really be able to see too much of the rest of that back shoe there. A little bit of the inseam on this leg. Alright, we can't see a lot of her hand, but it is there, so we'll have to show the pocket that she has on her, the pocket device on her back view. Since with this pose you can't really see it. What is going on with this section? I need to look at my reference. Okay, you actually can't see a lot of her hand here, so like I said, we'll just have to make up for that on the back view. That's fine. Thumb area. Good enough. Alright, let's turn that off. So what I'm going to do, since I don't have the gun squared away yet, I'm just going to block that off so we can worry about the gun lines tomorrow. Let me turn off the sketch. So we'll do the gun lines separate. Now, make sure I got everything selected here. Invert and fill in the silhouette. Oh my god, dude, chill. Vegeta is freaking out. Oops, I never did her other eyeball. Go ahead and fix that. this off for a sec. Sketch back on. Make sure I get the shape I want. There. Now she's got another eye. And turn this back on. Let's do lines. Oh, I should say body lines. Then color. And we'll put that all in a folder for front view. Alright, hell yeah, I think she's looking pretty awesome. I am really happy with this design so far. So what we're going to do here is I will go ahead and I'll throw you guys in the lobby so we can do a little wrap up here. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on stream today. I know it was a little briefer than normal. Sorry I'm not feeling super great here, but we will pick this up again at the same time tomorrow, 2:30, unless, you know, something comes up, and I will let you guys know ahead of time. If you like the kind of content I do, please follow me to see when I go live. If you really love it, please consider subscribing. That would help me out tremendously. I will catch you guys tomorrow. I hope you have